Hi, it's Jane, and I did want to show you the yarn that I picked up. I picked up one of the Mainstays Orange, and then I also picked up one of Red Heart's in the color Pumpkin, because I am crocheting some pumpkins. And of course, Izzy thinks it's a game, so she's got to play with them in the bag and try to drag them all over the place. Anyway, today I thought we would sit and I would do a little Tunisian crochet. Yeah, I started another project. I knew I wouldn't last long. And this Tunisian project, yesterday's Tunisian stitch, was the moss stitch, and that is actually what I'm doing here. That is the front, and this is the back. It is a nice flat stitch, so I thought I would continue that, and we would talk about a few things going on in our world today, as well as some other fun stuff. I have to tell you, I'm a little disgusted with our current administration. There was an interview with Biden where they were talking with him about the devastation that's been done to not just one state, but I believe it's a total of 5 or 6 states with the Hurricane Helene. And he made a comment that they had already placed FEMA supplies, those kind of things, pre-staged them, and then one of the reporters had asked, will there be more aid for them? And he replied, no. There will be no more aid. I believe I saw a statistic this morning. There are 17,000 people currently listed as missing because they haven't had opportunity to check in, to find them. And that's throughout all these states. This administration so far has spent close to $200 million, or I think it may be billion, on illegals that they have been sending into these smaller cities who cannot assimilate into American culture, and are causing a lot of damage. There is a city here in Pennsylvania that is experiencing that. Small city of maybe, like here I am, where I am. I will tell you, we have quite a few Haitians that I have seen. And, all the accounts are absolutely true. These people have cell phones. They're dressed well. Most of them speak French. Was talking with a lady yesterday. She does speak a little bit of English, but mostly French. And she doesn't have a job, doesn't plan on looking for a job, because the government is taking very well care of her. So, and I know our city, in our area, we've received quite a few Haitians. And those stories of some of the things about how rude they are, how they will open packages and eat out of them in the grocery store, eat fruit and then just leave it. Yes, I'm seeing that at my grocery stores. And I don't like seeing it. Can't imagine what these other cities are facing. I'm praying that they're not driving here, because from what I understand, most of them do not know how to drive, and there are a lot of increase in crashes, those kind of things. So I'm praying that they are not driving in my area, but you never know. But anyway, this city has, like mine, estimated 5,000 people and got an influx of 2,500. And I'm not sure how big our influx is, but it is a big, huge number. And we're seeing a lot of increase in crimes and all kinds of things. So I wouldn't discount those things right off the bat because they are actually happening. So, but the thing with the Biden, him saying that, it's quite a bit of someone that's a bit of a jerk, if you ask me. Why would you even say that? Why would you even say there won't be any more aid to them? I think the last estimate I saw in just Asheville and the surrounding area, it's over $175 billion damage. They're going to need some help. Their infrastructure is destroyed. Many of the cell towers, if they're not completely gone, are down. They don't have electricity. They don't have running water. FEMA is not sending anybody in. Of course, they'll use the excuse they can't get in because there are no roads to get in. So here we have normal, everyday pilots, helicopter pilots, people offering to go in. We have Samaritan's Purse attempting to get into these areas to bring supplies to them. Yet our government can't do squat for our Americans. I have a problem with that. Huge problem. And then I'm seeing where Trump has donated $25 million to help in the relief effort to get aid to people. And it comes back to those comments from, Oprah Winfrey, Michelle Obama, even Harris herself, and those who have much, they should be able to be willing to give a little. Now's your time to start giving and show what you actually believe, that it's true. But at least there is one communication system that so far has been working, and I'm sure the ham operators are doing their best to assist. They always do in these crises. They always come up, step forward, lend their voices, lend their time, their tools, their creativity to help. But luckily Starlink, which is satellite-based, is able to get information back and forth, although it's pretty spotty. And of course, the sad thing is, on Facebook, there are several support groups that have come about just looking for their loved ones. So, it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking. And then, of course, we have this thing that says in the next, October the 3rd and then 10th through the 12th, there are 2 more hurricanes coming to those areas. I can't imagine the devastation upon devastation that's going to happen. So, it's just frustrating. And then I had to laugh because reporters were asking Biden about the attacks, the airstrikes airstrikes in Yemen. And his answer was, I think that they will get a collective bargaining agreement done or some nonsense. All right, granted, maybe he has hearing loss and can't hear well. But seriously, he's talking about the longshoreman strike that's about to happen starting tomorrow. And of course, from the last that I heard, they've already changed their bargaining, what they want, again. So, not only that, but I believe the railroad, now rail is no longer going to assist with transport of goods. So you know what's coming up. Not only are we going to run out of things, but prices are going to go up because you can't get more of it. I just think sometimes it's absolutely ridiculous. But I think over the past couple of years, the longshoremen have actually found that they've had an 80% increase in income due to their going on strikes. So, are they being greedy or not? Who knows? I'm really enjoying this. I decided to make a scarf. That's what this is, because I have quite a bit of this bluebell, so that's what I was wanting to do, was to use it up and make a couple of scarves, that kind of thing. Maybe a couple of hats to turn in. That's what I'm looking for. My voice is a little bit hoarse. I am noticing with the CPAP that I'm having more vocal cord issues than before. And I'm hoping that eventually my body adjusts to it quickly and it'll stop all that nonsense. Because it is super annoying. And what I find interesting is I wake up every time when the pressure goes up to 14.1, and it wakes me up instantly. And during that time, I feel like I am suffocating by air. Literally suffocating by air. So, put out a call to my doctor about that because that really bothers me. The machine that they gave me does not have the ability to hook up to the My Air app, so it doesn't have Wi-Fi capability. So I can't see what's going on, to get a better idea of what's going on with me and why it's shooting up to 14.1 during that time. Which, if it had that capability, I'd be able to see those things and see what's happening. Is that the time that my O2 sats drop down to 60 or not? But don't have that ability, so I can't see that. And they had wanted me to register my machine And of course, the gal gave me the app to register. Can't register it because it's not one that works by it. So then I had to go to the company. They don't make it easy to find where to register your machine at. But I finally figured it out and got it registered. So, have not registered my mask yet because I'm not real sure that I like the mask. The mask is sort of like a nose pillow. The nose pillows they kind of look like they're a little bit rectangular. This is not like that. You actually put it into your nose. It has these small nostril flares for you to put it into your nares. But when I wake up, I'm really sore right in here from it. And I don't know if that's just trying to get adjusted to it or not. And of course, since I'm a mouth breather, had a lot of problems with dry mouth. And I was told the doctor could order a prescription to help with that. So far, I've just been using water by the bedside. So when I get up to go pee, I stop. When I come back before I hook up, I take a couple drinks of water and I'm good to go. You know, kind of swirl it around in my mouth. So that's what I've been doing so far, and that's working. Chin strap, I told you about the chin strap being too big. So I finally had to modify it. You know, being a seamstress comes in handy sometimes. So I did modify the strap so that chin strap, so it would actually fit me better. She did bring another one in. She didn't bring the one I asked her to. She brought me the regular. Doesn't fit at all. The only way that I can modify it is to add Velcro to it. So, I haven't done that yet. Don't know if I want to. I'm thinking about just ordering like half a yard of neoprene, making a couple of masks, a couple of chin straps that way for me. I mean, it's just a matter of cutting out the pattern. I already had the pattern, so, So I'm thinking about doing that for the chin strap. And it does help me keep my mouth closed. When it stays in place, it does slip. I did have it slip last night, and I kind of sort of woke up and realized it was up over here and not around my chin. So I was able to put it back into place. But Izzy still will not get up on the bed with me when it's on. She doesn't like it. Ronan, however, he has already started walking on me again, like normal. And a couple of times he has walked up. I lay on my side, he's walked up to my shoulder and then just perched himself on my shoulder to sit and relax. So, that's been rather interesting. I haven't reached the point where I'm seeing results. I have noticed each day that I am still exhausted, and I still whine like today. I got up and was up maybe 30 minutes, drinking a cup of coffee, fell asleep for an hour and a half in the chair. So I am hoping that that will resolve itself over the next coming weeks. I've had someone tell me it takes time, and yeah, it will. You'll see better results later. But then I also had someone contact me and tell me, you may have what's called CPAP resistance, where you don't realize it, but your body's fighting it while you're sleeping. So a CPAP may not help you at all. I basically said to him, well, I hope that's not the case. So yeah. It has been rather interesting, like I said. And I generally start out by sitting at the bed and reading a little bit with it on before I even go to sleep or attempt to go to sleep. But I do have to tell you, that feeling of being suffocated by air is really scary. I mean, it is terrifying. So, what are you guys working on? Like I said, I'm working on this Tunisian shawl in the moss stitch. I've been having fun with this moss stitch. I really like it. And it's one of those stitches that if it's too loose, you can actually tighten it up. I believe some people call this a mesh stitch, but I always thought the mesh stitch had like a where you did a chain one in between. I might be wrong. I have to relook at all my old notes from when I first started learning Tunisian crochet. But it is a bit of an airy stitch, and you can change it up by going down hook sizes or make it more of a meshy piecework, making the openings look a little larger by going up hook sizes. What I'm using here is a K hook, and I really like the look of it. And I will tell you, this is a great stitch. Even if you have a variegated yarn, it looks beautiful in variegated yarn. The way that the material blends, the way it looks is interesting. I have even done some of the striped yarns using it, and it's a very unique look. So I hope that if you've tried Tunisian, that you would try the Tunisian moss stitch. Still a cloudy day here. Supposedly we're supposed to have sunshine tomorrow. I can hardly wait. So that is what I am doing right now. In between cleaning here and there. Like I said, it takes me about 3 days to get the cleaning done. And when I say cleaning, my son teases me. He goes, "Are you back to that routine that you had years ago?" And basically I am. It's one of those where you clean one room each day completely, head to toe. And then you do spot cleaning the rest of the house. Kind of do that, but I basically break it up into, like if I do my bedroom one day, I do the bedroom, bathroom, and the closet area. And then, switch them up a little bit here and there in between. So, he said, I don't understand why you got into that routine, why you do it. I said, because it actually works to keep me on task and to help me keep the house pretty clean. But it is exhausting at times, especially trying to get around these cats. I had a giggle because last night I was in the laundry room and I was putting laundry in the dryer, and Ronan comes walking in, and when he came walking in, there was a tuft of white fur that was on the ground. He walked through it. Well, out of the corner of his eye, apparently he saw it move, and he jumped straight up because it freaked him out. I'm like, silly cat, it's probably your fur. So, and I am glad that I do have the Roomba, because the Roomba helps a lot with catching a lot of that stuff, picking a lot of that up and taking it out and clearing the way. So, and I almost did not get a Roomba. Now my other son has told me I actually need 2 Roombas for the amount of room that I have, and he is probably correct. Probably should get a second Roomba for back there to run up front, but I haven't yet. So, that is one of those expenses you have to save up for, in my book at least. Because I think this one that I got here was like $300. I know they come a little bit cheaper. And I thought about looking at some of the other ones that Walmart has for under $200. Just have not done that yet. I was kind of looking forward to going to Scraps and Skeins next week, but I don't think I'm going to get to go. I was kind of hoping to, but my schedule is so busy. And I don't know how I got that busy. So, hoping it calms down a little bit. I will tell you, Awana, yeah, it is tiring. It's a lot of work. But in our group, and this is what one of the leaders got totally freaked out. She was working with that young man. I was not. I was working with another youngster, helping him with his verses, and one of the other fellows on my left, working with them. This fellow said to her that he was a reincarnated dog. And so she stopped and asked him about that. And he said, well, his parents said they had a dog named Oliver. And they really loved Oliver. And that he has a lot of the same temperament as the dog Oliver. So when he was born, they named him Oliver after the dog. So we don't know if his parents have told him that he's reincarnated as Oliver, whether it was a joke or whether they are serious, but it's rather a perplexing situation, especially when you have other children right there. And if you don't know, Awana is a Bible-based. So this young gal, and she's younger than I am, she's totally freaking out. And, what do we do? What do we do? I said to her, well, we just keep teaching them the way that we're supposed to with Awana. Bring this to the attention of the person that is running Awana so that he could basically decide whether it's something they need to touch base with the family about. And I will assume, since this family is very much believers, that it most likely is a family joke, but he has taken it to where he believes that it is the truth. And unfortunately, sometimes when we have family jokes, that the adults get, but the children don't, they make up their own minds and determine what is truth. So we have to kind of be aware of those things when we are around children, some of the adult things that we talk about, and about if it is a family joke. I'm hoping that they can get it cleared up this week. This leader was absolutely mortified. And she's probably in her 30s, and I'm like, it's life. Happens all the time. Let's just move on and continue to work the program the way it is designed to teach these children about the gospel. It's what the whole group is for. So, I just thought that was one of those little funny things that happen, and who knows, this boy may actually think he is actually reincarnated, or it may be that it was a joke and he just doesn't understand it at his age. You got to remember the age that I have. We are in the kindergarten to second grade group, so it's possible. And I will tell you, when we got through, I went to give her the information she needed for the other two young men to fill out the paperwork. And she looked at me and she goes, paperwork? I said, yeah, you need to fill that out each week. She said, what? So she had no clue that she had to do that. So, and luckily, because I had subbed for the leader at my table a couple of times, on my own, I had a pretty good clue how to fill out the paperwork. So I helped her fill out some of it. Then she kind of walked away from it and decided she wasn't going to finish it. And I basically said to her, you need to finish that each time. Or you're going to get so far behind, you are not going to have a clue what's happening. So, I'm hoping that she does do that. I'm hoping that she will come in early and work on it. Like I said, usually I keep notes with the kids that I'm working with, so I know where they're at in their books, what milestone they've reached, all that kind of stuff. But she was a little at odds with it. And a lot of it is she had moved here from a different area where they actually had something called Olympians and not Awana. So there's going to be some adjustment period there for her, and that's perfectly fine. But we all rally around each other and help each other. So she just has to be willing to take the help. And sometimes people are not willing to take the help. And I have to tell you this, I call it the Sunday school class where we're studying the book by Nancy Pearcey, Love Thy Body. Of course, this week was about the joy of death and how the excuses that are being used for abortion, against abortion, and all the other kind of things like that. But in that, one of our one of the instructors this week is also a PA, and she, when reading through the material to get ready for the class, she said she was dumbfounded. She said, as a PA, she has prescribed hormone therapy to avoid becoming pregnant. In other words, the pill. And she has used it. And she did not realize that it, according to the WHO, World Health Organization, it is a known carcinogen. And I just kind of looked at her and I was like, yeah. She asked me, she goes, did you know that? I said, oh yeah. I also know that many of the drugs, because they are hormones, they're being given to these young children who think they are transgender and are going through with some of those issues. They are also known carcinogens, can cause cancer in the body. And I don't see where a lot of these health professionals are giving that information to the person. And I really think that that is important. You have a right to know what are the possible things that could happen from a medication that is being prescribed to you. Just like one of the things that we advocate for anyone who is considering taking the morning after pill is to consider that there are side effects, and bleeding is one of them. But more than that is not bleeding out, but the fact that battery died, that the tissue may not be completely expelled, and usually after 24 to 48 hours, it starts to necrose, die within the body, and causes a massive infection, which most of the girls that present afterwards, due to this, and it is considered a botched abortion, they're not bleeding out. They're generally admitted with signs of sepsis, which means the infection has spread from that area to the rest of your body and is now shutting down the organs within your body. That was the one case that Kamala Harris had stated about the woman in Georgia, that she wasn't given any medical care and that she was bleeding out in the parking lot. She did not bleed out in the parking lot. She presented, I believe, 10 days after the abortion pill while she was still bleeding and throwing up blood and everything else. That when she did get into the emergency room, they found that she was highly septic. Her organs had already started shutting down. They began massive treatments of antibiotics to get the sepsis under control because the surgeon would not do the D&C on her because of how bad the infection was, how inflamed everything was at that point, and he was afraid of rupture, not only to her uterus, but to her abdominal organs, which would have created an even bigger mess with a perforated bowel. So, we kind of have to be careful about those things what we choose as our story, and not presenting the entire facts and just presenting part of them, because that makes a big difference in the story. Now, my question was, the staff that gave her the morning after pill, did they instruct her on those issues that after 24 hours that she should seek medical help? I doubt that they did. They were supposedly already overbooked, so they probably didn't have the time. But sad all the way around that someone lost their life because they didn't realize that they needed to seek medical help in a timely manner. Now, the other young woman that died in Georgia, from what I understand, she believed all the people on the left that kept saying that she would go to jail, if she presented at a hospital after having a partial birth abortion, that kind of thing, which was a bunch of bull crap. That's all you can say. So I think, if you're going to, and to me, that's disinformation that the left was disseminating, telling people out there about the Dobbs decision. And quite frankly, those people's murders, deaths, are on their hands because they chose to not inform themselves correctly about that decision. So yeah, it's sad. And honestly, there is no state in the United States that does prohibit abortion. There is not a single one. However, there are 8 to 9 states that you can have abortion up to the day of birth. So, yeah, they do die. They do kill them after birth, because basically what they do is, when they do the abortion, if the baby survives, which it's a different type of abortion, they leave the baby to die. And I'm sorry, if you have chosen to have a baby, even naturally, and keep the baby, they were to set it off in a room by itself and leave it to die, it would die. Babies cannot fend for themselves. So, yeah. It's a touchy subject, and I think it's something that we probably need to discuss honestly and not in the manner that it has been done so far. And I am one of those that I do believe that abortion in the case of rape, incest, or the life of the mother is probably appropriate. Now, who knows? God may disagree with me and I may have to take some punishment for those thoughts. But I do believe that right now. But yeah, I think it's is too hot a subject, and that so much misinformation is put out there that you can't make an honest decision. You cannot even begin to understand, that there are other alternatives. But the main thing is, I would hope that if you are a parent and one of your children or your grandchildren come to you and that they want to tell you that they, for whatever reason, something happened and they got pregnant and they would like an abortion, that even if it's something that you do not agree with, that you will stand up with your children. You will be with them. You will help them through the entire thing, regardless of their choice. You know, sometimes we have to be able to be willing to just sit with someone and give them the peace of mind, comfort of knowing that we're going to love them regardless. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. What's yours? All right, guys, I think I've talked long enough. My voice is getting more and more hoarse. So I need to take a little bit of a break with the voice. So I will see you again soon, and I hope everybody has a great day. And I hope that for those that are in harm's way in the next coming weeks, I hope that you can find some safety, some solitude, and some care where you're at. And I hope that the rest of us will push our Congress and our current administration to send more help to the people in our nation to help them rebuild than to send it to a foreign country who wants to kill us anyway. All right, see you guys soon. Bye.